If you know property management, you can have a contract to manage a property.
How can someone start a real estate business without money?
Know what people need.
So what are those common mistakes new investors make when they are trying to invest in real estate business?
What is the appreciation rate?
What are the example of real estate businesses would recommend somebody to invest in?
Anywhere you find land, that is money.
What are legal documents should someone verify before buying land or a property?
One day you may regret. Someone may sell you a plot of land which is in the kingdom land.
What government bodies or policies should an investor be aware of before buying land?
Most people are looking for what to eat. But if he gets what to eat today, he doesn't care what you will face tomorrow.
On this episode, we're going to be discussing about real estate business, how to start a real estate business, do's and don'ts that will help you to become financially stable and to make more profits from real estate business. Without going too far, let me give our guest of today an opportunity to introduce himself as we dive into this episode.
My name is Peter Kusemerwa. I am the director of Felsat Consultancy. We do real estate and financial consultancy. I'm so excited to be on this show today.
When we talk of real estate, people think a lot of things. To you personally, what inspired you and your company, Felsat Consultant Limited, to venture in real estate business?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want our viewers to know what do we talk about when we talk about real estate. What do we mean? We mean anything to do with the land, that is sale, development, and anything that comes from land. It can be under the land or on top of the land. When I say under the land, sometimes we get land where there is marram under. There is sand under, there is gold, there is something like that. Then on top of the land, we can talk about trees, we can talk about buildings. So when we talk about real estate, in simple terms, it means any business to do with land, anything that comes from land. That is what we talk about in real estate. So it's all about the selling, buying, development of land. That is what we talk about in real estate. What inspires me to go into real estate? One, it is continuity. With real estate business, there is continuity. Because when you are in real estate business, there's no single day that the business will say, now the business cannot continue. Even when you are dead, your children will remain with the land, or your grandchildren will remain with the land. So there's continuity of business with real estate. That is what inspired me, one. Then two, there's stability. The business is stable itself. The moment you talk about land, that is stable income. When you have land, you are stable. First of all, with land, you have food, you have developments that you can put on land, and your income will always be stable because you have the biggest asset you can have, especially here in Africa. It is land. So one of some of the things that inspired me are continuity of the business and the stability. My income to be stable, and my life personally, my family, my people that will inherit from me to be stable. That is what inspires me to come into real estate business.
Factors of production, land, number one, because you need to be having land and to make money. What are the different ways someone can invest in real estate globally?
So there are very many ways. One, there's property management. These are people who do manage properties on behalf of others. So when we talk about real estate, some people think you have to build a house, design it, and put tenants and do this and this, which is weight. But on the other hand, you can become a property manager. Yes, globally, you can become a property manager. You can be in Uganda and you're managing a property in Kenya. You can be in Uganda and you are managing a property in South Africa. It's a matter of having contacts of the people who have those properties. Then for you, your work is to manage that property. To make sure that the property is in good condition, the tenants are paying, everything is going on well. That's property management. That is the simplest way you can join real estate global. Because when you're here in Uganda, it's not easy to go and buy a property in South Africa. It's not easy to go and buy land in Kenya because first of all, you don't even know the legality is there. But if you know property management, you can have a contract to manage a property. A rich man in Kenya can build a mall, and for you get the contract to manage that mall on their behalf. You are paid, and then you manage the mall. That's the easiest way going to real estate globally. Another way is to become a property agent. These that people call brokers. Yeah, those are property agents. For us in real estate terms, we call them property agents. An agent works in between. He's a go-between. Yes. If you know the owner of the building, then you know the owner of the building, and I also know the one who wants to rent the building. Yes. So I become an agent. Become a middleman. A middleman. Yes. So those are the people that they call brokers. But in real estate terms, it's called property. It's called a property agent. So I can become an agent. You have your property, you need tenants, then me I get for you tenant. Yes. The tenant pays me, and also you pay me because I'm an agent. So I earn both ways. Yes, you earn from two sides. Those are some of the ways you can enter into real estate globally.
You know, there are people who are working, they're having their money, but they are stuck where to invest their money. You may find somebody has like a $1,000 on his account, but is scared, is not sure where to invest his money. So you could highlight us on this. What are those property businesses you'd recommend that somebody as an entrepreneur, a beginner that would start with to invest his money in?
For the start, I wouldn't say it is very hard or it needs a lot of money to do real estate. It's not true. Most people, when they hear real estate, I've told you they think of these skyscrapers, think of these rental houses. Yes. They think of these apartments. But starting real estate, you start small. You start small. Number one, if you have $1,000, you don't even need $1,000 to become a real estate dealer. In fact, the biggest capital you need in real estate is social capital. You need people to know you, and you need you to know people. That is the first capital you need in real estate. You just need to know people and the people to know you. So secondly, you need something to facilitate your communication. Maybe you need airtime. You need technology, like you need a phone. You need, if you can, maybe a laptop where you can save your data. Yes. You need the social media apps like Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook. Those are the things that people are joining or who join real estate really need. You don't need a lot of money. Because when you talk about money in real estate, then you're not helping the one who wants to begin. The one who wants to begin may not have that money, because someone who has $1,000 is already a rich man or a rich woman.
You may look at someone, I would say they wants to join real estate business, but he has no money. How can someone start a real estate business without money?
Wow, that is the best. Is you need to know people and people to know you. Because before you start real estate, let's assume you're going to deal in properties for rent. Yes. So when we are talking about real estate, you're not talking that you're going to buy land today, you build, you get tenants. No, you start from the lowest where you can. Yes. Because when we are talking about this, you're trying to help people who wants to start. There are those who can raise up and start build their buildings, commercial buildings, residential. They are there. That class is there. But this class that wants to begin, you only need to know people and people to know you. And you make research. The problem for us, some of us Africans or black people, we don't read. We don't research. You need to make research, know what people need. What do people need out there? If you're going to look for rentals, people want to rent houses. What do people prefer? What do tenants want in rentals? You get that research. When you get that research, then try to find out. Because if I come to you and you say you're a property agent and you don't even know 5 landlords in town, then you're not a property agent. The first characteristic of a good property agent must be knowing landlords. Because when the moment the client comes and say, I need a house, the first time you do is to search in your phone if you have the landlord.
Yes, you call him.
If you don't have the landlord, then you cannot be a property agent. So you must have contacts. If you don't have money and you want to start a business of real estate, just know people and make sure people know you. Advertise yourself. Tell them what you do and then get their contact. So that when the customer comes or the tenant comes looking for information, you have the information. You don't have to scratch your head. You have the information. Then when you want even land, there are people who are selling land outside there. They are looking for customers, but they don't even know who wants the land.
Yes.
But in your family, you have an uncle, you have an auntie, you have a brother who has money. The money is on the account, doesn't know where even to put it. You can go and convince that person. Say, there is a plot of land here which they are selling. You're not the owner, but you are a middle person. You are an agent.
Yes, an agent.
If the customer buys the land, you'll get a percentage. So when you start like that, you'll gather some money. By the time people realize what you're doing, you already have your capital to buy land. That is how people begin. Personally, that is my personal experience. That's how it began.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it began. Because from the word go, I loved this business, but I didn't have the money. So the only thing I did was to get the people who have the property and then get the people who need the property.
Yes.
And when I get the customer, I get my money. You pay me. The other one gives me for searching for the property. The other one gives me for selling his or her property, and I get my capital. Now I can build for myself and I sell for myself.
The young investors or people who invest in real estate normally make some mistakes.
Yeah.
So what are those common mistakes new investors make when they are trying to invest in real estate business?
Most of the people that make mistakes, they don't research. They don't research to know what people want. People come with their money. They think money can be told. But before money, you need knowledge. Someone can come and buy land in a place thinking that it's going to accumulate. But that place has a history that land doesn't sell. There are places where you buy land and you can even take 5 years without appreciating. The land doesn't appreciate.
Yes.
So you need to find out before you invest your money in land. First, get information. This place, what is the appreciation rate in land in this place? You may buy a plot at 10 million and you find after 1 or 2 years it is still at 10 million.
Yes.
Nobody is giving you 15. Then there are other places which appreciate. They appreciate very fast. You buy a plot today at 10 million and after 1 year you're selling it at 20 million. So before you put your money in land, first of all, research about the rate of appreciation in that place, the neighborhood in that place. People don't consider the neighborhood. Most people make mistakes. You go to invest in a place, you're not considering the neighborhood. If you're selling to me a plot, who is going to be my neighbor? Is there a bar? Is there a church? Is there a mosque? People ask a lot of things. Because if I'm a Muslim, I cannot come to buy a plot near a pork joint. I will not buy. So if you're targeting a client who is a Muslim and you're going to sell to him a property, or you're going to rent him a property, you should know what the different cultures,
Yes.
religion, tradition. So when you're investing your money, you have to make research. Some of the mistakes people do, one, they don't research. They don't get knowledge. Another one, they don't want to learn. People think that when you have the money, you know everything. But there are people who know everything, but they don't have the money. So before you invest your money in real estate, because you have the money, you want to build your flat, you want to build your arcade, get information from these people who are on the ground.
What are those trends that new investors who is coming to invest in real estate business should be aware of?
The most, first of all, especially if we are going to talk about the new investors, most of them want to build.
Yes.
So building has a lot of things are changing daily. First of all, the new trend now in building, if you're building for residential, you need space. You need space. People want to rent a property which has space. Because in those days, find someone is squeezing room after room, room after room. Yes. So people find it very difficult to rent such a places, especially the high class. I'm talking about the high class. People want space. They need green. They need a tree somewhere. They need a flower somewhere. They need a place where if some people have their dogs, need a place where a dog can play around. So one of the trends that the things that people need in the current situation now is a space. If you don't have space, try to utilize the space well, such that if you're giving someone accommodation where someone is going to sleep, let him also have some space where to relax, because that is where you will get the high class customers. But if you're targeting these other low class people who sleep in one room, small rooms, and what, you may squeeze them. You may squeeze. But if you're targeting good rent go from high class, high end people, high end tenants, you need space. You need green. You need environment. The surrounding. The other thing is the other things around, the amenities around. Are there schools around? Consider those things before you develop any property around. Consider if you have schools, you have hospitals, you have a club, you have a bar. People want to be near entertainment, near schools, near hospitals. So also the design of your houses should be key in developing your property. Because most times you find someone has built a house, has 2 bedrooms, but has 1 bathroom. How do you build a 2-bedroom house and you have 1 bathroom? Meaning everyone is going to use that bathroom. So you're going to be cleaning it every time people use the bathroom. So people have to improve on the design. If you're having 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, should have also 2 bathrooms, so that the family, the father, the mother can use 1 bathroom, then the children use the other. Those are some of the trends that are now on board for the new people who want to invest, especially in property.
What are the example of real estate businesses would recommend somebody to invest in his or her money?
The first one is land, either in the village or in the city, anywhere. Anywhere you find land, that is money. The first one is land. Secondly, you can put anything that goes on land. It's not about buildings. You may even put trees. That is also business. You may put trees, you may buy land, you may not even buy in town. You may buy land out of town, like 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers, and you put your trees. 5 to 10 years, you'll be very rich. Another one, you may put your rentals.
Yes.
Those are residential rentals. You look for a place that has people who can sleep there. Then another one, you can put commercial. Commercial, these are rooms which people use for business. If you are along the road, you can put commercial houses. Then another one, you can do bricklaying. Anything that comes from land is real estate. Yes, that's what I want viewers to know from today. That anything that comes from land, any product of land is real estate. When we're talking about real estate, they're talking about the products of land. So they should not make it that is for big people who have a lot of money. No, it's not true. Property management is when you manage the property on behalf of an investor. That is also real estate. We also talked about property agents, can be a middle person, and you also get money, because it's very hard for the start to make a real estate a full-time job when you're not busy. Because sometimes you may spend even a week or a month without getting a client. So what we advise most times when we are starting, like me, we had to do part-time. You're doing other things, and on the side you're also dealing in property. But when the business grows and you get very many clients, you find like you don't even have time for other things, because you might find you have to set appointment every day. You have tenants that want to visit the property. You have buyers that want to buy the land. You have lawyers you are meeting because they have processed documents, selling agreements. You find you're very busy. So for the start, you can do part-time.
Yes.
Then as your business grows, you get a lot of clients, and what? Like now me, I'm into development. I have work to supervise on site. I have to build my people. Like you cannot done that you're going to be full-time from the start. But with time, it can push you to be full time.
What advice would you give to a young entrepreneur who want to start or to invest in real estate business, but they are unsure how to begin?
One, they should not be overambitious. Being overambitious is when you want to start big because you're looking at someone who is already there. That is where people make mistakes.
Yes.
Some of them end up in borrowing, getting bad loans, finances, high interest loan because they want to be like so and so. He's already there. But when you're young, as you have said, when you're young, you accept that you're even young in knowledge, even young in finances. Start small. Don't rush to acquire a property. Don't rush to buy land when you know you cannot afford.
Yes.
Because some people, what they do, they say, let me borrow money, I buy land, I sell the land, I get the money, I pay it back, then I remain with the profit. That is suicide. Because what if you borrow the money, you buy the land, and this land you don't get a buyer, and the bank is counting the interest.
Yeah.
The bank will take your land, and you'll even be demanded because you will not even have the money to pay back. So the land will be taken by the bank. And even what you have put there to buy the land, or maybe you have topped up, will also be taken. So don't be overambitious to start big. Just start small and grow. Because you may even buy the land and you don't even have a buyer. But when you start small,
Yes.
you have accumulated already enough client base. For example, you start as a middle person, you start as a property agent, then you sell for other.
Yeah.
Get a data. You have your database of the land you have, the properties you have, plots, houses. You get the database. Then when you have accumulated the database of people who have the property, then it will help you to accumulate the database of people who buy. Also for us now in real estate, we know people who have and who are looking to buy. So when I have mine that I'm selling, I'll say it for myself. Who's already know the buyers? But when you rush to enter into buying, when you don't have enough fund, it will disturb you. Another thing that we did not discuss about is the financing part of it. Some of the younger people rush to borrow money when they don't have. And some of them even sell their fathers or mothers' land because they want to get a lot of money. But before you sell that land, first land, when you are going to sell, where are you going to buy? Because in real estate, we advise before you put a signature on the land that you're selling, that you want to buy another one, you should have already seen where you're going to buy. So that immediately after getting this money from the sale of this one, you already have where to pay. Otherwise, you will find your capital has vanished. Because if you sell land today, you sleep with the money for 1 or 2 days, it may not spend the week. So before you sell, you should already have in mind a property where you're going to buy. That's how we survived in the start. When you have your 5 million, you have your 10 million, you know you have to keep that capital intact. So before you sell that small piece of land of 5 million, you must know after getting that 5 million, where are you going to buy?
Yes.
If you know you have nowhere you are going to buy, don't sell. Because when you sleep with the money, it may not last for the week. Other things may come up.
Yes.
So first search for where you're going to buy. After you have got research where you're going to buy, and sell. That is what will help you to keep what? Keep your capital.
Yes. Now we're looking at investors all over the world. We may get some investors from one country, want to invest in another country. Now, this I think will help you to answer it and help the investors who are coming to invest in different countries. What are legal documents should someone verify before buying land or a property?
One is that should be a land title, but of course, land, most of the land, for example, in portfolio, then most of the land doesn't have papers.
Yes.
And the major legal document in land of any property should be a land title,
Should be having it.
a land title.
Yes.
But if the title is not there, then you should look for the agreement. How was the land transferred from you to me? How was the land transferred from Joseph to Peter to John? You should get that background. You should get that background if the land title is not there. Because when you have a land title, you go to the lands, you do a search, you get to know about that title. If there is a caveat, you will know. If there is any encumbrance, you will know. So if the land title is not there on that property, that means you have to follow the agreements. The person selling to you the land should have the agreement where he bought it from.
Yes.
And the agreement should be stamped by either the lawyer and also the LOC chairperson. And also neighbors. The neighbors, people neighboring that land, at least one of them or two, those who are living, should also have maybe witnessed that agreement. So when you find those documents, the land agreement or the title, they are there, then you do underground search. You don't just wake up today and say you have seen the land agreement, you have seen the title, then tomorrow you pay. You can spend time and go to the village there or go to that town where you're going to buy land. You may meet people around there and ask them about that land. Most times people have history on every plot of land in a place. Those people you find on the road, not even the LOC, but people around that place, the neighbors.
Yes.
People will give you
History of this
history. That's why someone said that before you buy land, at least you should know one drunkard around the village. You should know the chairman. You should know a legal person. Should have a policeman. But those people who stay around,
No.
the drunkard can come drunk and say, that land is fake. That's things like that. So you do underground search. Then another thing is, we have very many land tenure systems, like here in Uganda and specifically in Fort Portal. Because you might find you are going to buy land, we should understand the land issues. You should understand about the lease. You should understand about the freehold. They should understand all those things. You must know. You may go to buy land and they say, we are giving you a title for 49 years. And for you, say you bought land forever.
Yes.
And after 49 years, they send you a message that your title has expired. So you should know all those legalities before you go into what? In real estate business. Because one day you may regret. Someone may sell you a plot of land which is in the kingdom land. And the kingdom land can only give you lease.
They don't say.
They don't sell you forever. They give you a lease of 49 years or 99 years. And after 2 months, you are going to process your title. They tell you, no, your plot belongs to the kingdom. But if you had done due diligence before, you would know that where you're going to buy that land, it is a property of the kingdom. But you're buying that land on lease so that you don't get disappointed. Or where you're going to buy land, it is a freehold land, where you're going to buy land forever and ever. And most times you find that this land, like in the kingdom land, this freehold, they are not the same amount of money. They find the prices are always different. So you have to do due diligence. Also involve the work of a surveyor. A surveyor can show you whether this land is okay or not. Sometimes you may find you have gone to buy land and you find the road is passing in the middle of the land.
End of the land.
There is a water system in the middle of the land. There is drainage in the middle of the land. So you have to find out. There is a friend of mine who went to buy land, and after buying land, they found a pipe for national water. But they hadn't done due diligence. And you cannot build on top of what? On the pipe. So you have to do due diligence before you invest your money on land. Otherwise, you will regret.
Legal documents and whatever. The good thing you have elected it very well. I think an investor is aware now how to buy land and where. So we're looking at what government bodies or policies should an investor be aware of before buying land.
One of them is that use the Ministry of Lands. The government put the Ministry of Lands And the Ministry of Land has all the data containing land in Uganda. People can say when you talk about the Ministry of Land, we are talking about for you to go to Kampala to the ministry. No, there are offices. There are land offices in every district. For example, in Fototo, we have a land office. Before you buy land, find out from those offices. They are open. Get a surveyor who can do for you that work. Go to the land offices, find out about that land that you're going to buy, so that you don't regret. So the government put the land, and all the land of Uganda is mapped. It is mapped and it is known where it is. The ministry, the office of the land will show you that this land where you are is a national park. This land where you are is a wetland. So use the offices, the land offices. Yes. That is what the government has done, is just to map the whole land. So the whole land in Uganda is mapped. The government knows this is a wetland, this is a road reserve, this is a forest reserve. So they know, the government knows. So it is we, the buyers and the dealers in land, especially the property agents, those who are called brokers, they mislead clients. Some are not genuine. Can bring you to buy land. Like, you see the land is in a wetland, but you say no. This is just a rainy season. Yes. This is just a rainy season. During a dry season, the land will be dry. But you say, out of someone, you should have also sense. If the water, the land is floating in water during rainy season, so meaning for you, you will be living on that land only during it is not during the rainy season. Meaning you will be shifting. During rainy season, you will leave. Then when it is a dry season, you come. So some of the brokers, those agents, they are not genuine. You take someone to the land you really know the land is a wetland. Yes. But because you want money, you convince this person to buy the land. And after buying the land, tomorrow NEMA comes, they demolish your house. Tomorrow NEMA comes, they cancel your title. So some of the people in this business, they are not genuine. Because in Uganda today, most people are looking for what to eat. Yes. They are looking for. If he gets what to eat today, he doesn't care what you will face tomorrow. But when you're going to deal in this land business, property business, learn to deal with genuine people. Before you deal with people, make research about them. Let them give you a profile. Which people have they served? You cannot wake up from there and say, you're going to sell me a property. How many properties have you sold? Which people have you dealt with? I can also get information about you. Are you genuine? There are people who can take you to buy a property. They really know that it is fake. And they can even participate in forging the signature of that property. Yes. They can go on the side of the seller. Today he's talking to the seller. Tomorrow he's talking to the buyer. So they are double dealer in property. And those ones are very wrong people. If you are in a property and you are a double dealer, you are a wrong person. If you're on the side of the seller, be on the side of the seller. If you're on the side of the buyer, be on the side of the buyer. To avoid conflict of interest. So some of the people that have spoiled this business are the people who are double dealing. You really know the property is fake, but you cannot tell the buyer that this property has a problem. Because after selling, you'll get your money. After getting your money, the other person has got into problems. You will find nowhere. You'll never find nowhere to be found. You have already disappeared.
Now we are looking at different ways how to invest in property. How different is investing in rural land and urban property? If you could highlight somebody who is ready to invest in real estate business.
Land is land. Whether it is in urban or rural, it is land. It depends on what you want to do. Then someone wants land, want to invest in trees, you cannot buy in town. You cannot buy in a urban setup. Because urban setup, specifically you buy a simple plot, 100 by 50, 50 by 100, 100 by 100, where you cannot put trees. You cannot have a farm there. So before you think about the land, comparing land in the village and in the city, one, you should know what you want to use the land for. If you want to use the land for urban setup, rentals, commercial, hotel, school, anyway, the town urban setup is better. But if you want to go into farming, tree planting, mining, sand, bricklaying, you can consider the rural setup. However, land is land. Wherever you are, let me assure you, with land, wherever you are, the town or urban setup will find you there. Because even where we are in Fort Portal, one day it was a rural. Our great-grandfathers left it a rural. Rural area, Fort Portal was a rural area in history. Nobody knew about it before development came. But now it is a city. The same way it applies now, you're seeing Fort Portal as a city. Maybe you're seeing Kampala as a city. But there's someone down there in Mukono, someone down there very far in the village. 100 years from now, 50 years from now, to the city. So when you're investing in land, you're not looking at today or tomorrow. You're looking into the future. Most people who are investing in land, they are looking at generations to come. By the way, land in the city is more expensive than land. Plots in the city are more expensive than the other land in the village. But the advantage with the land in the village, you can buy it now cheaply, but you sell it expensively in the next 10 years. Because the city will have reached there. The moment roads come in the rural area, water come, electricity come, the city has come.
Yes, yes.
So I would encourage real estate dealers, investors, to also look into the rural area. Because with land, there is no bad area. There is no bad land, by the way. There is no that this land is no bad. Because you can find some land is on a hill. But an investor will come and put their hotel. And when people have been saying that this land is fake, it is on a hill, it is what, but an investor will come and develop that land and will make a lot of money. There are times when people would fear to stay near Crater Lakes. We have a lot of Crater Lakes in Fort Portal. But people would even run away from Crater Lakes. They would say there is a lot of demonic things on the Crater Lakes. But when the weeks came, they bought land on Crater Lakes. Now if you want to buy land on a Crater Lake, you need billions. You see?
Yeah.
But people who bought land there, those days when people were running away, fearing those demonic stories of what, they ran away and sold the land very cheaply. A Mzungu comes and buys land there, puts a hotel and makes billions of money. Now if you want to buy land on a Crater Lake, you need billions of money. So land is land. Wherever it is, it will remain land. You cannot compare land with anything, whether it's in the village or it's in the city. I don't encourage people who sell land in the village to come and buy in town. I don't encourage them. Wherever you are, utilize that land. Development will find you there. Because if you sell your 1 acre in the village and you come to town and buy a plot of 50 by 100, that, to me, that's not a right decision. You can utilize that 1 acre in the village and make more money than this person is coming to town to buy 50 by 100 and put rentals. Because when you're going to buy 50 by 100 and put rentals, and maybe every month you get 500 per month, or 800 or 1 million, someone will utilize the other 1 acre in the village and put zero grazing. Put cows, put poultry, put matoke, and you will make more money every month than you, who has come to the town and bought a small plot and put rental. So land will always be land, wherever it is.
This is a quick one. Partnerships or group investments are a good idea towards investing in the real estate business.
Very good, because with land and property business, you need money. One, you may be alone and you cannot raise the money. But when you're a group of people, you can raise money and invest. However, you need genuine people. If you have a salary, just for example, salary earner, you can have a group like 5 people, and you say every month we can save 200, and you get a document, you sign somewhere, you get your we call them investment club. You can get a club, an investment club. You register it. Because when you're going to do such a things, you don't need to be informal. You need to be formal. You need to be so formal. You get a document. You say we are going to have an investment club. For us, we are going to specialize in land. So if you're salary earner and then you're getting a salary every month, you can say every month you're going to save 200 from each one of us. We put it on a joint account. And when we put it on a joint account, when we get the land that we need, we buy. When we buy, we can either resell or we give it to one of us, depending on what you agree. That is one way, by the way, to go into real estate. Because real estate, you need money. So if you don't have a man alone, you can have a group. Get an investment club, you can save 200 per month. If you're 5, that's 1 million. So in 10 months, if you're saving 1 million per month, in 10 months, that will be 10 million. In 1 year, that will be 12 million. I'm sure with 12 million, you can get a plot of land. So you can say that every year, we shall be giving a member a plot. So if you're 5, that means in 5 years, everyone will have a plot. It is only wisdom, yes, that people need to start the business. Because even me, there are some properties that we own as joint. I also have a group where sometimes we have properties as a group. You find you have a group and you have a plot. You find you an individual, you have, if you are able. Even family. You can have family. There are family people are owning properties as a family. Those who have children, those who have brothers and sisters. You can say, no, you are my brother, my sister, let's come together. The problem with us, sometimes us, we just want to be alone. But if you say to come together, even in your family, you have the capacity to go into real estate. Because with the family, when you come together, maybe your brother is working, your sister is working, your cousin is working. You can say, no, people, we need land, we need plots, but we cannot afford. Instead of going to the bank to borrow, you get a group. 5 people, I've given you an example, 5 people. 200 per month. That's 1 million per month. In 1 year, you have 12 million, you buy a plot. Second year, you collect 12 million, you buy another plot. So within 5 years, all of you have got plot. And you can decide to sell. Yes. So a group, I encourage. I think you can give your final remarks or your advice to the people who is watching Muka podcast as we reach to the closer of this episode. So thank you very much, Muka podcast. I'm so honored to be hosted on this show for my first time, and I'm so grateful to the viewer out there who are following. Please subscribe, like, and continue to follow as we continue to unfold great and great things. I'm sure with time we shall be learning more and more. I wish you all the best. God keep you. Thank you for accepting our invitation to come and speak to us. As usual, you have heard all it takes to start a real estate business and to get huge profits from real estate business. If you don't have money, you can make billions of money from real estate business. As a young entrepreneur, you have had knowledge and what it takes to make money as it has been said. This has marked the end of this episode. I've been your host, Joseph from Manure for God.